Grand Rising. Happy Thursday. Today is September 11th, 2025. My calendar, and I'm going to take a picture of this and post it on the way that they associate all the different astrology signs. And this calendar has, this is a farmer's calendar. And it has a lot of different holidays on it that I was not aware of. Like, did you know that the 7th of this month, which was also the day of the full moon, was Grandparents' Day? And this coming Sunday, the 14th, is Holy Cross Day. There's a lot of different holidays on here that I was not aware of. But that being said, today, September 11th, is the 254th day of the year. Today we are in Taurus, which represents the neck. We were in Taurus yesterday as well. Tomorrow we will be in Gemini, representing the arms. So anyways, I just thought it was pretty interesting. I never really sat down and looked at this calendar to see everything that it includes. And it has a lot of different information on it. So, nonetheless, I will take a picture of it, post it on the community tab. It's been a while. I hope everybody's having a peaceful, positive, productive day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. That being said, in the background, we have playing today Rose of Magdalene. Venus Rose Codes, Sacred Feminine Sound Healing, 528 Hertz. The channel that I found it on is Molly Ann Chiner, Chiner. Nonetheless, it's been nice so far. So we're just going to leave it playing in the background. I actually got a new deck. So Charlie Kirk. I don't know who that is. But yes, most definitely. R.I.P. It's called When You Feel Bad Mindfulness Cards. So we're going to pull one from this deck just to check it out. And see what we get. It has short messages on the front and then longer messages on the back. On one of the cards that comes with the deck, it talks about ladder of self-compassion, mindfulness practice. And it shows you starting at the bottom of the ladder and working your way up. It says, notice, accept, name, breathe, observe, and cherish. The ladder of self-compassion. We talk about it all the time. Self-forgiveness is one of the hardest forms of forgiveness for most people, you know, but it's an act of self-love. Also, to be able to forgive yourself. I'm not really sure why it is that way. You know, it's easier for us to forgive other people than it is for ourselves, which, you know, you could look at it in a way as we love, value, and appreciate other people more than we do ourselves, which is a lack of self-love. So self-forgiveness also encourages self-love. Grand Rising, I hope everybody's having a positive, peaceful, productive start to your day today. These cards actually shuffle really easy. All right, let's just get one if we can. Confidence is not about knowing life will unfold the way you want. Confidence is knowing that life will unfold as it should. Wow. That's a powerful message. Going with the flow. You know, being able to accept that no, things may not play out the way you want them to, but they play out in a way that's best for your journey, whether it's learning lessons, learning how to love, appreciate, and value yourself. Yes, of course, it's important to offer that to other people, but it's most important to be able to offer that to yourself for real. All right, let's see what it says on the back. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, then bring your attention to a long and calm exhale. Imagine that on each exhale, you are blowing out feelings and thoughts that you do not need right now. Continue breathing like this until you begin to feel lighter and more confident. There are things that cannot be solved through thinking or controlling. One just has to trust that they will be solved at some point without your input. So, putting your faith, your trust, your life in the hands of the unseen, of the unknown, being able to embrace that. It's for a lot of us, we get so focused, like we set a goal, we've made a plan, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. But after we do all that, it's hard to just be like, okay, I've done all I can do. Now I have to turn it over, to God, universe, higher source, whatever you ascribe to. That can be difficult to do. So making it a point to kind of take the time. We talk about it all the time. Making the time to give yourself the time that you need to focus on, whatever it is that you're needing to focus on, to release, to, just gain more clarity. All right, now we'll get our mantra of the day. So I liked that. Yeah. Very similar to our Namaste deck, I think, as far as like the general purpose of that deck. Mindfulness cards. Hold on and I'll show you the box again. When you feel bad, mindfulness cards. Printed by Sunny Present. All right, now we'll get our mantra and then our grief affirmation. And we'll just go on down the line. We got our chakra wisdom affirmations, our wild offering oracle. We're going to do the whole stretch today. I'm actually off today, so that's nice. I've taken today to get a slow start to the day instead of just having to jump up and get to it. Today, I'm going to fall in love with all the little taken for granteds that make this world so wild and dynamic. The planetary design team really went all out on this one. We've gotten this several times, actually. Being grateful, getting enjoyment out of the little things in life. Not waiting to be happy. We all do it from time to time, where we set a goal and we're like, once I get to this point, I'll be happy. I'll feel safe. I'll feel secure. Fill in the blank, whatever it is. Don't wait for that moment. Don't wait for tomorrow. Wear your nice clothes today. Love on yourself today. The example that they always used to give back in the day was using the fancy dishes. Back in the day, that was a big thing, which it may still be now, but I just don't notice it as much. But anyways, they'd have this big china cabinet full of fancy, expensive dishes that they would only break out for special occasions. Don't wait for that day to, quote unquote, use your fancy dishes. Put whatever in that blank. It doesn't have to be dishes, but don't wait. Which in some circumstances, that can be easier said than done. But embrace each and every day equally. Something significant doesn't have to happen to make it a good day. The fact that we woke up, we're breathing, we're able to function, just that in itself is plenty to be grateful for. So, as always, practice gratitude. Find joy and happiness and peace in the simple things. It's easier said than done. I understand that, but just start. Start noticing the birds chirping nearby. Start noticing, the little breeze that blows and brings you that smell of the seasons changing, because that's where we're at right now. All right, be the things you loved most about the people who are gone. We talk about that a lot as well. Even though they are no longer here with us in this dimension, this lifetime, this energy, the things that we learned from them, the experiences that we shared from them, we carry those with us throughout our lives. Whether it's, looking back and finding inspiration, looking back and remembering the love that was shared and that encouraging you to share that love with other people. Whatever it is, embrace those memories as positive, encouraging, uplifting memories. It was 11:44 when I looked at the timer. Don't let it get you down, which, once again, I realize that's easier said than done. But, if you catch yourself slipping into more of a negative than a positive mindset, do your best to pull yourself out of it. Think of positive memories. Like when I start missing my grandmother, I always right away go to how she loved everybody. She loved everybody equally. When you came into her house, it didn't matter. Your physical appearance in any way, shape, or form did not matter. My grandmother loved everybody. You got offered a meal, you got offered a drink. You very rarely left her house empty-handed, whether you were just meeting her or had known her for years. And so I really look at that. Self-confidence. Third chakra, solar plexus, self-confidence. And then second chakra, sacral chakra, reward myself. Reward yourself with loving yourself, forgiving yourself, by appreciating what's around you. When you have that attitude of gratitude and truly do appreciate everything, that in itself is a reward just because it uplifts you. Okay, so we will light an incense today. Solar plexus, I think that's lemongrass. Yes. I've been on a candle spree here lately. I don't know if it's going to clash with it or not, but this one that I'm burning right now is sweet pea. If you're not aware, I will share that a lot of little stores like, Dollar General, Family Dollar, similar stores like that, a lot of them are having their seasonal sales right now. And I scored big on candles. They were the ones that were on sale were all buy one, get one free. So, you can't beat that, really, especially with the price of candles nowadays. The price of everything nowadays, Like all their swimming stuff and garden stuff. All that's going on. Well, it's been on sale for a while now, I guess. All right. We'll just stick this right here behind us. I trust myself fully. I will not allow fear or doubt to hold me back from doing what I'm here to do. I have confidence, belief, and conviction in my abilities and goals. I welcome questioning by others, as this gives me a chance to clarify my truth, ideas, and philosophies. I trust in a higher power and I'm open to new challenges. I know that I am truly worthy and deserve to receive the good things in life, and I give myself permission to have them. It is time to enjoy the fruits of my labors. I aim to incorporate and embrace fun and joy in my life. I realize that all work and no play is a recipe for energy flow, disruption, and exhaustion. I allow myself to experience and receive more pleasure in my life, and I am flexible and open to change. What were we talking about? About going with the flow. I am receptive to embracing activities and events that come my way, even those I may have avoided in the past. So, kind of breaking out of that comfort zone. Let me get a tissue real quick. My nose is starting to itch. All right. I don't know what it is, but here lately, every time I come on, my nose starts running. I rebuke any negative energy being sent my way. I send it back with full love and forgiveness. All right, now we'll pull from the Wild Offering Oracle. Look at that. Make it gods on the bottom of the deck as we get started. You know, saying little things like that, a lot of people kind of look at it weird. But it's no different. It's like saying a prayer of protection, a prayer of just acknowledging that, hey, I feel off. Like, so I'm acknowledging it to myself and to the energy around me that I see it, that I feel it. Being aware makes a big difference. All right. I don't know about you guys, but we've been having some really nice weather here lately. It's been getting cool in the evenings and just mild during the day. Yeah, I think yesterday it got up to the high 80s, but the weather has been super nice. Fall is definitely on its way. Oh, thank you very much. Good to see you. All right, we got feelings, empowerment, and despair. All three came out at the same time. Mistakes on the bottom of the deck. Divine timing kind of peeking out there a little bit. And then trust on the top of the deck. Feelings. Emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, filling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. That goes a lot with the grief affirmation, kind of what we were talking about of when you catch yourself. Slave Eddie. When you catch yourself slipping into that being sad, don't necessarily ignore those feelings, but just don't sit in them either. Like, acknowledge it, feel it, and then try to pull yourself out of it and turn it around. All right, then we got empowerment. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear divine. Being true to who you are, being true to your feelings, not being afraid to acknowledge them. Understand that that's a form of empowerment. Every time you do it, you're empowering yourself by acknowledging your feelings, and even in those moments of despair, you can see it from different perspectives. I need your divine intercession right now, O Great Spirit. Lift this darkness from my soul. Free me from this burden. Open me to your highest plan. May I be a peaceful vessel for your love. So that goes back to what we talked about already too, with the grief affirmation and with the morning mantra. Today, I'm going to fall in love with all the little taken for granted that make this world so wild and dynamic. Confirmation. All right. Where shall we go from here? We'll go with Angels of Abundance. Last time we got, it's safe for you to receive, visualize abundance in all forms, and cooperation instead of competition. The only true competition is yourself. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. 21:12 when I looked at the timer. Technically, it was 21:11 and turned to 21:12 as I was looking at it. So we saw 11:44 and 21:12, which is 2112. So a lot of number synchronicities this morning already. All right, Angels of Abundance. Power of prayer. Declutter on the bottom of the deck. Bountiful nature on the top of the deck. Purple, blue, and green. Give this situation. What did I say about at the very beginning? I talked about thank you very much. I'm not trying to be weird. It's okay. Most of the best ones are weird a little bit. What was I talking about at the beginning of the video? Where, doing what you can, doing your part, but then turning the rest over to the divine. Power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing. And be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. So after you pray, pay attention. Going back to confirmation. Going back to the card from the new deck, when you feel bad, it talks about closing your eyes and focusing on your breath, paying attention to how you feel, because God speaks to us and through us. Most of the time, God, divine, higher universe, however you want to acknowledge it, most of the time the answers do not come externally. They come from within. We talk about it a lot, about making time for that quiet time so that you can hear your body talking to you. All right, declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. For me, it is that time of year. I try to do that about every change of the season. Thank you. Go through and declutter things that you're not using. It's, for me, I don't know why, but it's always in the kitchen. But nonetheless, changing of the seasons is a good time to do that. All right, then bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you into a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. You know, we always talk about it's spending more time in nature. It's beneficial in so many different ways. Like, I could go on and on for hours about the benefits of being outside, walking barefoot. Like, it sounds so cliche, but hug a freaking tree, you know? Just connect for a few minutes. Put your butt on the ground instead of sitting on a chair. Our bodies were not made to be disconnected from the earth. We are technically one with the earth. But, you know, for everybody, it's an adjustment. Nonetheless, even if you just go sit out on your front porch and drink a cup of coffee and breathe in some fresh air and let that sun shine on your face for a few minutes, you know, pull yourself out of your box for a little while. All right, now we'll pull from the Namaste deck. You know, I am not ashamed to admit that it was a huge adjustment for me going from living on the road to being in a house unit, you know, 4 walls, a box. But it's about balance. You know, being able to find some kind of rhythm between the two. All right, now we're going to pull from the Namaste deck. Last time we got Crack a Routine, talking about changing it up, being sporadic, embracing unexpected events, changes, occurrences. Thank you. All right. I hope everybody's having a peaceful, positive, productive day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. That being said, I think I repeated that, but that's okay. You can't go wrong with it. Please can be your blessing. Your channel. I can't say that I'm pro-slavery, but you're welcome to be here. This is a judgment-free zone. Anyone is welcome. As long as it stays peaceful and positive. All right, the power of breath. We've already talked about that multiple times this morning. Relax your face. Breathe in through your diaphragm. Every time you breathe, notice how powerful you feel. Breath takes in energy. Air gives us what we need to live. It fills us with power. Feeling the power of each breath allows us to charge ourselves like we charge our cell phones. Breathe this way for 8 minutes and fill yourself with power. This will help relax your body and power up your mind. That we talk about that a lot. The power of quieting your mind, really focusing on your breathing. I call it practicing the pause. You know, just take 5 minutes to just stop and disconnect and just focus on your breath. Because a lot of times we are breathing in a hyper way. Like, instead of taking long, deep breaths, we take a lot of little short breaths, and that overworks our heart. It overstimulates our nervous system. So, it's a good thing to be aware of your breathing and your breath patterns. All right, now we're going to pull from the angel numbers. Last time, look at that. Last time we got 11, 44, and 404. We saw 1144 on the timer this morning. 7722, ask for help on the bottom of the deck. Don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's here in the physical world or in the spiritual world. Power of prayer. We have not because we ask not. When we come in prayer with a humble and grateful energy, it goes a long way. The attitude of gratitude really can turn your life around. If you tend to be a negative, pessimistic type of person, first of all, I can totally relate. I wasn't always that type of person, but I did go through a phase in my life where I became very consumed by those emotions. No, I don't think so. In all honesty, something like that could be considered dark magic. Just saying. All right, angel numbers. Hold on. 3131 on the timer. We got 1010, embrace the journey. That's what came out. 1313, seek comfort on the bottom of the deck. And 420, potential on the top of the deck. I'm gonna have to make a phone call, and I'll be back. Sorry. I shall return.